Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tomi, a certified nutrition coach and vegan chef. On this channel, you learn sustainable, effortless nutrition and wellness tips for a lifetime of good health. In today's video, we're talking about something I'm sure a lot of my fellow Nigerians might be wondering. How do we make our Nigerian food healthier? And just so you know, a lot of these tips can be applied to many other cuisines as well. So I can already tell what some people might be thinking. Don't mess with Nigerian food. I love my fried plantain and egusi and jollof rice. And listen, so do I. I grew up on these foods, love them to bits, and don't plan on taking them out of my diet anytime soon. You truly don't have to give up the foods you grew up with to eat healthier. It's really about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. So today I'm sharing 5 simple tips that have genuinely made a difference for me, and I think they'll help you too. Let's get into it. All right, tip number 1 is to rethink how you're using oil. Now, fat isn't the enemy, but the amount we typically use in Nigerian cooking can be quite excessive. Think about it. When you're making a pot of jollof rice, how much oil are you pouring in? When you're frying your plantain, is the oil halfway up the pan? I now cook predominantly without oil, but when there's a traditional recipe that calls for it, here's what I do instead. I've started using much smaller amounts of oil and choosing healthier fats. So instead of vegetable oil, I'll use a small amount of olive oil or unrefined red palm oil. And yes, traditional red palm oil from West Africa actually has some great nutrients when you use it in moderation. It's rich in vitamin A and antioxidants, and the key word here is moderation. But the real game changer is in changing how you cook. So instead of frying, try baking, grilling, or steaming. So for example, instead of frying plantain, you can slice it, pop it on a tray, and bake it in the oven. You still get that sweetness, and you can even get it golden brown if you leave it in long enough. Or you can try my method of water frying, and I'll leave a link somewhere here for you to check out that video. Steamed dishes like moi moi can be made oil-free without compromising the taste. And when it comes to making vegetable stews like efo riro or egusi, you can actually sweat your vegetables with just a tablespoon of oil or even just a bit of water instead of drowning them in oil. These small changes make such a difference, and honestly, after a while, you don't even miss the excess oil. Your body will thank you, and reducing oil allows you to look after your heart health and maintain a healthier weight. Tip number 2 is to reduce your salt intake. Now, this one's a bit tricky because a lot of flavor in Nigerian cooking comes from seasoning. And let's be honest, those stock cubes we all love to use are absolutely loaded with sodium. I'm talking about Maggi and Knorr cubes. They're convenient, but they're also really high in salt. So here's what I suggest. Start using less of them or cut them out entirely and replace them with natural seasonings. You can get so much flavor from fresh ingredients such as fresh ginger and garlic, fresh peppers like Scotch bonnet, or even traditional seasonings like scent leaves or fermented locust beans. Start small. If a recipe calls for 3 stock cubes, try using 1 instead, and then build flavor with fresh ingredients. Your taste buds will adjust over time, and eventually you can do away with the stock cubes completely. Tip number 3 is to swap refined carbohydrates for less processed options. There's no doubt that white rice is easy. It's quick to make and it's what we're used to. But hear me out. Our body processes refined carbs like white rice, white bread, and processed swallow very quickly, which can spike your blood sugar and leave you hungry again soon after. So if you do this repeatedly, this can lead to insulin resistance further down the line. Whole grains and less refined options digest more slowly, keep you fuller for longer, and have more nutrients in them. Here are some swaps you can make. Instead of white rice in your jollof, try ofada rice or brown rice. Ofada rice is actually local to Nigeria. It's less processed and it has this lovely nutty flavor. Yes, it does take a bit longer to cook, but in my opinion, it's worth it. If you love beans, you can stick with brown or black-eyed beans, but also try adding lentils to your meals for a quicker option. You can combine that with your rice or even add it to stews for extra fiber. Instead of agege bread every morning, try whole grain or spelt bread, or even better, just go for boiled yam or boiled plantain with some vegetable sauce. You don't have to change everything at once. Maybe start with one meal, switch your white rice to brown rice for your jollof this week, and see how you feel. It's all about taking small steps. Tip number 4, and this is a big one, is to rebalance your plate to include more vegetables. If you look at a typical Nigerian plate, and I'm guilty of this too sometimes, it's often a mountain of rice or swallow, a bit of stew, maybe a small piece of protein, and if there are vegetables, they're almost an afterthought or maybe even overcooked. We need to flip that script. Here's what a balanced plate should actually look like. Half of your plate should be vegetables, a quarter should be your protein, and a quarter should be your carbohydrates. I know that might sound shocking if you're used to a different ratio, but trust me, this is where the magic actually happens. The beautiful thing is Nigerian cuisine has so many incredible vegetables. We have pumpkin leaves, we have efo or spinach, water leaf, we have okra, green beans, and so many more. Make your vegetable soups the star of the meal, not just a side. A proper efo riro with some beans, tofu, or mushrooms for protein, and a smaller portion of eba on the side gives you a balanced meal. Or instead of a huge mound of jollof rice, serve yourself a moderate portion and then fill the rest of the plate with a side salad like chopped tomatoes, cucumber, lettuce, maybe some avocado. Dress it simply with a bit of lemon juice and pepper. Then add your protein of choice. I love tempeh or tofu most of the time. When you increase your vegetable intake, you'll get in more fiber, more vitamins, more minerals, and you'll actually feel fuller and more satisfied after your meals. And finally, tip number 5 is to embrace natural traditional seasonings. This ties into the salt conversation, but it's worth its own point because Nigerian cuisine has such a rich tradition of using fresh, flavorful ingredients. And somewhere along the way, we started relying too heavily on processed seasonings. Let's go back to the basics. We can also do things like incorporating traditional ingredients like locust beans, sometimes called iru or dawa dawa. It gives that deep fermented umami flavor to soups and stews. You can also use things like fresh or dried herbs like basil, thyme, bay leaves, and scent leaves to just add that extra layer of flavor. We have spices like ground uziza seeds or ehuru, also called calabash nutmeg, and those are also worth exploring. So when you cook with these natural ingredients, you're not just making your food healthier, you're actually honoring your culture and heritage. They give our food a deeper, more complex, more interesting flavor profile, and the food will actually taste better, in my opinion. So in my cookbook, Vegan Nigerian Kitchen, I have a whole glossary of traditional seasonings, herbs and spices and ingredients, as well as over 100 healthy Nigerian recipes for you to try. I'll leave a link to the book below if you want to check it out. Now, before we wrap up, I want to quickly share 2 bonus tips that I think are really important. The first one is to think about your protein sources. A lot of Nigerian meals are quite carb heavy with very little protein. And when there is protein, it's often just a small piece of meat or fish in your stew. So try to include more plant-based proteins in your meals. Beans are brilliant. We use them for things like moi moi, bean stew, or you can explore other legumes such as lentils and chickpeas if you can find them. Tofu can actually work really well in pepper soup, stir-fried with vegetables, or you can even add them to stews as well. Mushrooms will give you that lovely meaty texture. The goal is to make protein a substantial part of your meal, not just an accent. This helps with satiety and gives your body the building blocks it needs. Bonus tip number 2 is to watch your drinks. This is something we don't talk about enough. Whether it's zobo, chapman, or even tea, many of us add quite a bit of sugar to our drinks. If you're making zobo at home, try using much less sugar or sweeten it naturally with blended dates or pineapple. You can also try adding fresh ginger and a bit of lime, which is refreshing, and you won't miss the sugar as much. And if you're buying drinks, just check the label. Some of those bottled drinks have shocking amounts of added sugar. Sometimes the healthiest option is just some water with maybe a squeeze of lemon juice or some fresh mint. Simple but effective. So those are the 5 simple tips I have for you, plus 2 bonus ones for making Nigerian meals healthier. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's not about never eating fried plantain again or giving up jollof rice completely. It's more about balance and making small, sustainable changes that work for your life. Pick one or two of these tips to start with. Maybe this week you can try baking your plantain instead of frying it. Next week you can swap your white rice for ofada rice. Small changes add up over time. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment below and let me know, which tip are you going to try first? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.